On.
Yep.
Heritage
We're on.
Preservation Commission, this is a meeting for Thursday, May 12th, 2022. This is our monthly meeting, and we usually meet on the second Thursday of the month. So we'll start off with roll call. And we'll start with Richard Curry
Yes, I hear.
and Jason DeMoe.
Here.
John Gasper.
Here.
David Hughes. He is excused. And Barbara Kern.
Here.
And Nikki Villasenti. Nikki's here. And Joe Sharon is our staff staff person from the city. Okay. And we'll first look at the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda or additions? Anyone have any?
One, new business.
Mr. Sharon?
Yeah, he's on.
Oh, Richard?
We want election of officers this night, as our bylaws state.
We can do that if you want to add that.
I don't know, that's it's up to the members.
Okay, is there any wish to have election of officers?
Yeah, let's do it. and get it done.
Okay, all right. So we'll put that under new business number 2
Three,
or 3. Okay. What is number 2? We have Gladstone.
Gladstone.
Gladstone is 1?
Yeah, so one is election of officers, 2 is swearing in of reappointed members,
Oh,
3 is Gladstone development updates.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I must have a updated one, because I have swearing in of not myself and Dave is 1,
Yeah,
Gladstone is 2.
yeah.
David is not here.
So I don't care, whatever way we go.
Joe, what would you prefer?
Yeah, let's just do election of officers first, then we could swear in the reappointed members, and then we could talk about Gladstone.
Okay. Swearing in is 2, and Gladstone is 3. Okay. First, we'll look at so that's the agenda. We'll look at approval of the minutes. Are there any changes to the minutes?
Hang on, we need a vote on that. We need a vote on approval
Oh,
of
we do,
agenda.
okay. Is there, approval of agenda? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have approval of the agenda. Okay, to approve the minutes, are there any additions or changes to the minutes?
I'm going to say this, but I'm going to approve the minutes. If you look at 2D2, it states, discuss the local landmark designation application for grant. At that point, Joe started off with, he talked to the planning commission and all this, and all of a sudden, we ended up with the final motion was St. Jerome's and what have you.
Okay.
It should have been basically subdivided into 2 motions. One to say, yes, we're gonna go apply for the grant. 2, pick the building that we wanna go on.
Okay, that can be corrected?
Well, yeah,
Yeah, that can.
and then I will move for approval.
Joe, did you get those changes?
Yes.
Okay, all right, the minutes have been corrected, and there's been a motion and a second to approve the minutes for the Thursday, April 14th meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved.
I'm sorry, who seconded the motion? Oh,
Jason. Okay. So we have approved the agenda, approved the minutes. We'll move on to new business. And the first one is election of officers. Joe Sharon?
I would kind of defer to the commission on this one. We have, I believe, a commissioner and a vice commissioner,
Okay.
and it's up to the commission to decide. I don't know if
Okay, is there
anyone
any- Okay,
wants
thank
to
you, Joe.
run for the position.
Who's the current vice commissioner?
What?
Is it Richard?
I am, you're chair,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm vice.
Okay, that was my question.
Okay, is there any discussion? Is there a motion to elect a chair?
So moved.
I nominate Bob.
Okay.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. So John made a motion and Barbara Kern seconded.
Any discussion on it?
Yeah, is there any discussion?
Hearing none. Roll call.
All right, we'll do a roll call. Richard
Yes.
and Jason
Yes.
and John? John?
Yep, yeah.
Okay, Barbara?
Yes.
Okay. Is that 4? And we have 7 members, so
Motion passed.
there's a motion to approve the chair. Myself, Bob Cardinal is chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there a motion for vice chair? Any motion?
Oh, Richard.
Richard is nominated. Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
You
I
can't,
should
you
second.
I'll
can't.
second it.
Jason seconds it. Any discussion? Okay, we'll have a roll vote. Richard, do you vote yes?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
John?
Yeah.
Barbara? Yes. And myself, yes. So that would be accepted. Richard, congratulations, you're the vice chair. And that's a vote of 5-0 vote. Okay, we'll move on to number 2, the swearing in of re-elected members. Is that what it is? Are you
I got reappointed.
reappointed? Okay. All right. Why don't you, Joey, would you want Richard out there? Is there anybody else that has to be out there?
Yeah, are we gonna have to
David B's
do-
not here.
Are we gonna have to do another one next month, because Dave's not here?
Oh, Dave's not here. Can we do it with him, without him not here?
The next one, we could postpone it if you want.
you in and swear him in.
Yeah, you're here, Richard.
All right. Why
You
don't you-
could drop
Oh,
it
yeah.
tomorrow, we don't know.
I'll get out. I'll come out.
Officially make you a member here. All right, I'll be standing right about here.
Maybe move the camera.
Yeah, he'll switch the camera around once he gets in place. All right, have you right here, Richard. All right, raise your hand there. I, Richard Curry,
I, Richard Curry,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
to support the United States Constitution
And
and
the
the laws of Maplewood,
Minnesota,
Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge all the duties
of the Historic, or actually it should be Heritage Preservation Commission in the city of Maplewood,
in the city of Maplewood,
in the county of Ramsey,
county of Ramsey, and the state of Minnesota.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Yes,
So help me.
I do.
All right, excellent. Congratulations, John.
Congratulations, Richard.
Signing your, there you go.
Congratulations,
Get to sign
Richard.
I gotta
yourself.
sign my life away now. We could just use my old one.
Thank you, Joe Sharon, for swearing in Richard as a renewed member of the Heritage Preservation Commission. And that's a 3-year term. Okay, we'll move on to Gladstone Development Update, Gladstone House Sale, Moose Lodge, and we'll turn this over to Joe Sharon.
Gotcha. Thank you, Commissioner, members of the commission. As you know, the Gladstone House has been sitting sort of in half repair for the last couple of years, and so has the Moose Lodge. There was an offer made for the Gladstone House by Beacon Interfaith Housing, which they plan, it's a nonprofit, and they plan to build 40 affordable housing units at the property on Frost Avenue. It's ideally located because of transit, parks, trails, said the developer. There are still a lot of contingencies on this, grant money, due diligence, financing, so it's not a done deal yet, but if all goes as planned, construction should start next summer on that property. On the Moose Lodge, we have had a couple of offers. They decided, the Community Development Department decided that they wanted to be able to plan and look at the offers in an apples-to-apples basis to make sure everyone who was making an offer had the same level of financing, had the same ideas for what the construction would be. And so what they're going to do is this summer, they're putting in an application with the state of Minnesota, a grant for the state of Minnesota to get grant money to do a demolition, because it's becoming an eyesore in that community, to do a demolition this summer and then clear the land out and then do basically a request for proposals, a bid for proposals based on multifamily housing and a mix of multifamily housing and neighborhood appropriate retail. So that's where we are with those two parcels.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Joe.
Bob,
Richard?
I have a request from a resident that when they tear down the Gladstone house or building, that somebody is there to go through. They have gone through part of it, but there still could be some historic pieces in that building that the Historical Society probably would want to keep, and we would keep.
Yeah, Jason, do you want to refer to that? Did the discussion take place on that yesterday?
We talked about it at our most recent board meeting, and I think it was decided that we talked about it at our most recent Historical Society board meeting, and I think it was decided that Bob Jensen would be there on site to be able to make sure that everything is above board, and if there's anything historical that might be worth saving, we could make sure and get a hold of that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody has to be on board to the date. They don't just go in and tear it in all.
I don't believe a closing date has been set at this point, so once they set a closing date, I will coordinate with our building department and the Historical Society to see what appropriate action we could take to preserve what might be left behind.
Thank you, Joe. That's very important to the Historical Society. All members want to know about that. And our executive director, TJ, would probably filter out some information on that and have something going on there. Okay, good enough. Thank you, Richard. Okay, that's number 3 under new business. Under unfinished business, we have the update on St. Jerome's Historic Designation Project. Joe Sharon.
Okay, thanks, Commissioner. I reached out to St. Jerome's, both the principal and the people on both the school and the church side. There are a few people, they were interested in participating with us on this project. The principal is fairly new, so she doesn't have an extensive knowledge of the history or the background, so she had connected us with a few of the parishioners, a few of the longtime parishioners. I'm still waiting to hear back from some of the parishioners to see what next steps are, gather some basic history of the site, and gather some history about their mission in that community.
I also talked to Father,
Richard, go ahead.
the father over there. He was very excited that we even thought about putting it on our list.
That's Father Victor Valencia.
Yeah, I was at a funeral.
Okay, good. All right, so thank you, Joe.
Yes.
That's not going to happen overnight. That might take several months, so very good. Okay, we'll move on to demo applications. Number 2, Joe?
We only have one demo application, and now it's the Menards at 22 2220 or 2280 Maplewood Drive. It was issued on April 21st, 2002. If you've driven by there, the Menards is already gone. The communications department had done a flyover with our drones, so we had gotten the before shots of the Menards so we could document. We're going to plan on doing, depending on weather next week, another flyover to get sort of what it looks like leveled out, and then at the end of the project, we'll get that
I know that
documentation.
went through our commission.
Wait a minute, Richard.
Okay.
Joe, go ahead.
I believe the demo permit, I'm not sure if that has to go through the planning commission.
Okay.
There's no historic value
No.
of that, yeah.
Okay, Richard?
Okay, the Menards demo and that came through our commission before, when they were thinking about putting up a new one. And we approved it here at that time. So, it's a done deal. The other thing, I would like to make a motion that in our bylaws, it states that we are supposed to receive demo permits before they are issued, so we can give them a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Commissioner Curry, I believe I've talked to our community development director, and he has stated, and we've talked to a couple of different people, they only have to give us demo permits on the 3 properties that have already been deemed by the state or the federal government as historic. They don't have to give us a demo permit on everything. I provide demo permits at each month to give us a courtesy of what's going on, but they're not required to provide demo permits according to our bylaw, our ordinance.
That's what I read in the bylaws,
Well,
and what the state and federal say.
okay, why don't you take a look at them again, and if there's something that
But-
has to be reported, then you can come back with it.
Because the thing is, a lot of these buildings that will be getting demoed, they might be old enough where, just like the Gladstone House, they might have something significant in it that we may want to save. And by the time we get it, the building could be down.
Okay, very good. Okay, we'll move on to number 3, new board member recruitment. Joe Sharon.
Okay, as you can see in your packet, there is a flyer to recruit new members. We are down 1 member with Margaret Fett not returning as a commissioner. And so we are in the process of recruiting a new board member. Please, if you want a clean copy of this that doesn't have the back on it, I give you a clean copy to distribute around within your professional, personal circles within the city of Maplewood. And I could also connect with Executive Director Molesky to find us candidates as well.
Very good. Thanks, Joe. Any comments? Very good. So the public should be aware that there is 1 opening on the Maplewood Heritage Preservation Commission for a new board member, and we are recruiting. Okay, number 4, Summer Associate Grant Application Results. Joe.
As the commission knows, Mr. Molesky and I and Commissioner Kern had done a grant through the State Historical Society for a summer intern, a summer associate, basically, a summer associate to help us with documenting history and putting it in a usable, user-friendly, accessible database. Unfortunately, we did not get that grant, so that kind of leaves us with next steps. Does the board have any desire to... I guess at this point, I don't know if we have any desire to apply for a different type of grant, or it's something that staff takes on in the next couple of months, and we, instead of doing the project this summer, we delay the project, or we create a new time, probably better to say we create a new timeline for the project.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Yeah, there must have been huge competition for that grant. And we we thank you and TJ and Barbara for putting that application in. It's the only way you're going to get it. So you're experienced now. We'll try again. Okay, move on to visitor presentations. Maplewood Area Historical Society update. We have our executive director, TJ.
Good evening, Chair Cardinal and Commissioners, City Council Member Vicencio, and Mr. Sharon. It's a pleasure to be here now that it's summer. It feels like last time we were here it was still winter, so it's good that there's some temperature changes happening out there. There's been some stuff happening over at the Historical Society as well, so I'm pleased to be here to share that with you tonight. I do want to, I'll just piggyback off of the last topic, that our partnership grant with the Minnesota Historical Society. There was 3 times the request for funding than was in the pot. And over half of the pot of funding for the partnership grant went to fund one major project. I sat in on the listening session when the committee was reviewing and discussing and making their recommendations. And I have to agree with the committee's decisions on the projects that they selected. I think they are important and more time sensitive than our project, as much as we all would have loved to have had our project funded. So that was a little bittersweet, but I think good things will happen with this money throughout the state of Minnesota. So that is exciting. Commissioner DeMoe and I were recently at a conference where we did get called out for having submitted a very good grant. So we did get some props for that from the history community and the Minnesota Historical Society. So again, Commissioner Kern and Mr. Sharon, thank you for work on this. There is a potential grant there's the potential to receive funding from a grant to work on this perhaps in a smaller chunk than we had originally thought. That is a grant that the Historical Society would apply for on our own. It doesn't mean that we won't come to you and ask for some support in that, but it would not be the same sort of partnership grant that we had originally talked about funding for a communications associate. So if we want to pursue something closer to that original project we looked at, or if we think we should push forward with this other grant, I'm happy to talk about that as well. Let's see here. We recently just had a wonderful event. It was in a very cold barn, though. Let's talk about Ukraine. I want to thank Commissioner Kern, Commissioner DeMoe, Mr. Sharon for showing up to support that night. It was I thought it was a very, very important and powerful evening. We had a Maplewood resident who is a Ukrainian immigrant speak about her history and what she's doing now to work with Ukrainians during the conflict or the war with Russia and Ukraine. The city graciously recorded it and will be working to put that together into a package that will be out for the public in the near future. So thank you, Mr. Sheeran, for that as well. Some events coming up. I will give you our full list of 2022 events right now. So get ready, sit back, get ready, get your pens going. And all of this will be on Facebook and our website as well. This Sunday, we have our big kickoff to the summer season at the Maplewood Area Historical Society. It's our big Red Barn Folk Arts Fair. We have almost 60 vendors who will be out selling folk arts, local crafts, arts, and such. That's this Sunday from 11 to 3. We have some live music. We have some food trucks. It should be a good time. The weather looks like it's going to be fantastic, so come on out. Parking is limited, so we have overflow parking at Harbor Point Business Center. If you do come on out. Starting on June 5th and running every Sunday through the end of September, we'll be kicking off our Big Red Barn Farmers Markets and Open House, which is super exciting. So we'll have some local vendors who will be selling produce and other agricultural goods and foods and arts every Sunday, starting June 5th from 9 until 1. We'll also have our open houses during that time. Our exhibits will be open. We'll have some hands-on demonstrations, some kids' crafts, and extra activities during those Sundays. So that's really going to be our big push over the summer, which is exciting. Starting June 2nd, we'll be kicking off our Histories, Mysteries of Maplewood series. That'll be at Wakefield Park at 6 o'clock on Thursday, June 2nd. The first program will be delivered by Pete Boulay, and it's Why is Maplewood Shaped Like That? So come on out if you need to have a refresher or learn for the first time why Maplewood has such an odd shape. On Thursday, August 18th, we will be discussing the Sarah Wakefield scandal, which is an important part of Minnesota's history through the U.S. Dakota War of 1862, but also Sarah Wakefield was a resident of what would become Maplewood, and Wakefield Park is named for her. So we'll be talking about that. On Thursday, October 20th, we will have Stories from the Poor Farm, again by Pete Boulay, and that will be this year's Histories, Mysteries series, and then we have a couple lined up for 2023 as well. Saturday, July 23rd, we have afternoon tea in the barn, and that is at 2 o'clock. The theme for that will be wedding dresses through history, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we will have some fun with that event, I think. We have a draft from the past with Beer Choir Twin Cities coming back to the Bruin Troop Heritage Farm, the Maplewood Area Historical Society. That will be June 9th, 6:30 to 9:30. So I hope to see you there. If you like to sing and you like a beer and like some history, it's a good time. It was a fun event we did last November. So we're doing it this summer again. We will have our second Big Red Barn Folk Arts Fair on October 15th, again 11 to 3. And then we will be partnering with Maplewood Parks and Natural Resources on October 29th for Boo Bash and Halloween on the farm. So that'll be a big family event. We'll be partnering with the city on that one. We're excited about that. We will also be having, on December 10th, St. Nicholas Tog on the farm, which will be taking over for our pancake breakfast. And we're going to expand that into a great community event. That's December 10th, 11 to 4. I believe Beer Choir will also be out for that one. So that should be a fun event. And then we're wrapping up our programs this year with Lifting Up History again. That was our fundraiser. So we're going to do that on December 10th. So City Council member Viva Satsio and I went up in the lift, and we raised almost $5,000 in about 2 hours. It was super great. I don't know who's going to do it this year. I'm thinking of having the Maplewood Area Historical Society board members auction off not doing it. So maybe we could raise some more money that way, and then the loser goes up with me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to make it fun. Or maybe Nikki will come up with me again. We'll see. We'll see. But that was a great event, and was a good fundraiser for us last year. So those are our public events we have going on. We'll also have a ribbon cutting for our new exhibit, Land, Hilly Soil, Second Rate, Maplewood's Place in the Old Northwest, late summer. And then what I'm really looking forward to is our summer camps are kicking off now. So we recently have made selections for 2 amazing interns who will be coming on to the Historical Society as paid interns for 10 weeks over the summer. They'll be helping us with our summer camps, as well as doing some work, learning what working in a museum is like. So that's pretty exciting as well. There's still space in summer camps, so if you've got some kids or know some kids or anything, sign them up for some great summer camps. That information's all on our Facebook and our website as well. So that's a lot I just threw at you. So I don't know if anyone has any questions, comments.
Well, that's pretty good, TJ. Thank you for putting that all out there for us, for Maplewood residents. I think we should just talk about Sunday just a little bit more.
Sure.
So Sunday is May, 15th?
May 15th. It is so the Big Red Barn sale, we're now focusing on more folk arts than we have in the past. So that's kind of an exciting thing to tie into the history of the Historical Society, the Bruin Troop Heritage Farm. We'll have about 60 vendors out at the farm, both outside and inside the barn. Our exhibits will be open as well. We have 3 food trucks out at the farm. We have some live music by a wonderful singer-songwriter Lisa DeGepsy, who will be out singing from the kitchen porch, so it should be a fun day. It is, again, 11 to 3. This is one of our big fundraisers for the year. So we raise money through vendors' sales, getting vendors spots, but we also will be asking for donations and securing memberships during the event from the public as well.
What are some of the vendors that are going to be there?
Oh, man.
I know you can't name all 60,
Oh
but
my gosh. And I've been, this is what I've been focused on over the last week, so you'd think I would be able to just list off a bunch. I know we have a really fun boutique. A woman has a trailer. It's called the Pink Boutique, and so she's going to come out, and she's got like a little pop-up store. We have some fine artists. We have a couple of authors who will be out with kids' books. We have some jewelry makers, and we have some woodworkers. We have some fiber artists who will be out, a couple of ceramist, is that the right word? Ceramic artist, we can do that, there we go. Ceramic artists will be out as well, and then we have some food vendors as well, so a couple of salsa, or a salsa vendor, a couple of candy vendors who make homemade candy, some barbecue, dry rub stuff as well. So I should have been more prepared for that question, Jason.
that's all right. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thanks, TJ. And that is this Sunday, May 15th, 10 to 3?
11 to 3.
11 to 3.
Yes,
11
correct.
to 3. And there are going to be food trucks.
There are food trucks. We have 3 food trucks that will be out. So some egg rolls, some other food, and mini donuts and ices.
And is there a admission charge?
There is no admission charge. It is free to the public. However, we will be asking for donations. So consider that. I don't know that all vendors have access to credit card sales, so consider bringing cash with you.
And if there's a few Maplewood residents that have never been there, I imagine. It's up by the mall. You go up to County Road D and you go east.
Yep, so if you go up or from White Bear Avenue, if you go east from where you would turn to go into Caribou and Perkins on County Road D, you just follow it up the hill. You'll see the Big Red Barn. Parking is probably best if you stay down just slightly and park at Harbor Point Business Center, which is on the north side of County Road D, about a block from the farm. You can take a lovely walk up the Prairie Trail to the farm.
And then we do have some connection with the Maplewood Mall. What is going on with that? Do we have a sponsor from the mall you mentioned? Or a partnership or whatever?
I don't know, not for this event.
Oh, we're
I will
working
say-
on that,
I will
right?
not, I will say, yeah, so there's some discussions about perhaps moving our main exhibit, our current exhibit, Maplewood and 3M magically adhered over to the mall over the holiday season.
good.
To get a new set of eyes on it over at the mall.
Okay.
But we're still talking about that, so.
Okay.
Are you gonna keep
Richard?
the parking lot to the east of the farm for like handicap cars?
We have
first?
2 handicap spots at
Yeah,
that
but-
parking lot, and that's what we will reserve for handicap parking. And then as visitors come, they will get first come, first serve at parking in those parking lots.
Because what I worry about is you tell them a handicap to go down the heart or how they're gonna just keep on going.
Yep. So we have our disabled parking is right at the farm there, and we only unfortunately have 2 spots for that. And so we'll work with it as we can. But we have to make sure that we're also accommodating everyone who shows up when they show up. And yeah, it's a lot of juggling to keep people happy, so we'll try to do our best to do that.
Okay, thank you, TJ.
You're welcome. Thank you.
See you
Any other
Sunday.
questions about anything I threw at you tonight?
We'll see you Sunday.
All right, sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to wrap up here. Any comments from anyone? I will just add that the Heritage Preservation Award is going to be given to Pete Boulay for this past year. And he will receive that award on, what is it, Joe, May 23rd?
Yeah, it's the council meeting, May 23rd. At that meeting, we will present Pete with his award. We've invited Janice Quick because she wasn't able because we were remote at the time. And then I've reached out to Gary Basham, but I have not heard back. So what we were advising in the agenda report is we give Pete his award and then we reread the award for the two other recipients. And then we will, all following that, we will have a recognition for Margaret Fett's, former Commissioner Fett's service as well.
Well, so we should all try and make that. And encourage, if anybody communicates with Judge Gary Bastian, express if we'd like to see him on Monday, May 23rd, and Janice Quick, and Pete Boulay, and Margaret Fett.
I would love to be there, but I have a previous TV shoot down at Tartan.
Okay. All right. Is there any other business we need to discuss? Council Member Nikki, thank you for being here.
Does she have anything to add?
Do you have anything to add, Nikki?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your presence and being a liaison for us. Anything further? All right.
A motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned.